Insurance agents from around the world, welcome to the Insurance Guys podcast, hosted by yours truly, Scott Howell, and the incomparable Bradley Flowers. For agents, by agents, we're here to share real-life experiences, tips, and insights related to all aspects of both being an insurance agent and running a successful agency. So sit back, turn up the volume, and let's get down to business. Hey guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Insurance Guys podcast. I am your fearless host, Mr. Scott Howell, and I am joined today by my co-host, Mr. Bradley Flowers.
How you doing today, Scott?
Man, I'm doing great, and we are coming at you live from Deep Fried Studios in Mobile, Alabama. Before we get started, I am fired up today. We have a special guest star with us, Rhen Bartlett with Bluefish, a full-service ad agency located on Dolphin Street here in downtown Mobile, is with us today. Rhen, I am fired up about having you, man. How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing great. Happy to be here with my buddy Bradley Flowers. Good to see you, Scott. Let's get started. I'm excited.
Yeah, we are actually today, guys, insurance agents from around the world. We are actually going to be talking a little bit about digital marketing, advertising from the perspective of a full-service ad agency, and kind of picking Rhen's brain a little bit, Bradley, about what insurance agents do right, what they do wrong, what we could do better. We both felt like having somebody that does this every day, all day long, was probably a great decision to have on the podcast. So hope you guys get a lot of good information out of this. Bradley, get us going. What are you thinking in terms of what we want to talk about relative to what everybody is sucking at right now in digital marketing?
Well, I think we just let Rhen take that horse by the reins and run with it. You know, you have the way that you and I do it, which obviously works, but it's a little bit rough around the edges.
Right.
And it's always good to get the perspective of someone who is in the advertising industry and sort of from the outside looking in. But Rhen also has a few insurance clients, so he sort of has the best of both worlds as far as that goes. So Rhen, just take us from the top. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you guys do for insurance agents, and talk about what everybody can do a little bit better and not break the bank.
Well, first off, I would like to start by applauding both of you all. I mean, you do a mighty fine job. I think Bradley's taking video is one of the best pieces of content that's out there right now. And Scott, same to you. You do a mighty fine job. Advertising space is the Wild West these days with social media. There are really no written rules or regulations aside from the restrictions that's set on you by your companies, right? So everyone's kind of guessing. Some people have experienced success and they kind of replicate that over and over again. But a lot of people, they're just making noise in a concert hall with 15 bands playing.
Right.
You know, there's really no differentiating factor that's setting them apart. And I think that's key to experiencing success in social media, is either entertaining or providing some type of educational value. But if you're just out there with, no aim, no direction, no goals, you're just making noise in a really loud concert hall. So
That's the big thing from my perspective, is a lot of people, they just do what everybody else does.
Right.
And it turns into cookie cutter. You have to be close to that line. You have to be close to the edge.
And there's examples out there. There's agencies that are producing and publishing cookie cutter based content at a much more inexpensive level. An example would be an agency that's offering up service offerings for social media at $50 a month. They're packaging this content, posting it through Hootsuite or whatever to 120 million different insurance agents' profile page. Well, with that, nothing's setting you apart. What is the wow factor there? What value are you providing that no one else is? You're kind of just getting lost, really, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, and what I see from insurance agents is, number one, I love Facebook. I love doing Facebook Live videos and trying to be both comical, comical with some of my stuff.
Comical would be the word.
Comical would be the word, and but educational at the same time. And I tell you something I've really learned in the last 2 to 3 months is I try to keep things down. I'm starting to do a lot of short form stuff, like 10, 15-second stuff. The stuff I try to do for an hour, and I talked to Bradley about it, and I talked to my media partner up in Huntsville, Aaron Sexton with Kaboom Crash Media. People don't have time to sit there and listen to me talk about uninsured motorist coverage for an hour and 15 minutes. So I really have to make it comical, as you said, Rhen, entertaining. The great news for guys like Bradley and I'm going to call all of you out that are listening to this show right now. I could hammer cock a 45 caliber pistol and stick it to most of your heads and say, I'm either going to shoot you or you're going to get on a Facebook Live video for 20 seconds. And most of you would say, well, go ahead and shoot me, Scott, because it's not going to happen. And to me and to guys like Bradley, we absolutely love that because we don't have very many people doing what we do. And I would encourage you to find your voice in the social media platform world. I have been on podcasts with people before that probably shouldn't be doing video because they're just not very good at it. I don't know if it's talent. I don't know if they're just not.
They have one of those radio voices.
They have a radio voice. Exactly.
Excuse me, radio faces.
That radio face, yeah. So find your platform and figure it out. But guys, Bradley and I lick our lips when we think about all these people out there that are in the insurance business that are not going to, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, get on there and start doing stuff on social media platforms. You've got to get on there and get going. You know, there's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but if you didn't do it 20 years ago, the best time's now.
Yeah, and what I'd like to add to that is people don't realize that with social media and Facebook and the adoption of these platforms, you own TBS.
Absolutely.
You own your own station.
Right.
And never before have people with a smaller budget or not that of big networks or big brands been able to put out and publish content and get in front of users, these platform users. So it gives us an advantageous opportunity unlike any other seen before. And you know, if like you said, if you're not taking advantage of this, you are missing the boat.
Absolutely.
In a big way.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a way for you to get people to know you who otherwise would not know you. And it just puts you that much ahead of the 8 ball because, and I'll give you an example. So Rhen and I took and this is a sort of a humble brag, but Rhen and I took our daughters trick-or-treating 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And this will date the podcast, but we're just after Halloween 2 weeks ago, and we're trick-or-treating at this house, and an individual standing at the house says, "Hey, Bradley," and I had no idea who it was at first, and he and I have never spoken before, so it's a way for people to feel like they know you before they actually know you. And so Rhen, moving forward, talk a little bit about what can people, low-budget insurance agent do today in their agency, his or her agency, to get started and do it the right way, not the wrong way.
Find something that you're interested in. Think out of the box. If we're speaking to insurance here, there's only so many things you can talk about with insurance, right? I mean, you can only talk about umbrella policies or commercial insurance for so long. People really don't care. I mean, how big is your audience that is really tuned in to the ins and outs of insurance week after week? You're not going to get the attention. You're not going to get the attention that you're seeking there. So I think what you do then is kind of be a little extra. Find something that you're passionate about. If you're a big football fanatic, why don't you do a football show each week, have in the local high school coaches and talk about the past game? The underlying factor is everybody knows you're a real estate agent, insurance agent, sorry.
Oh, it applies to real estate agents too.
You're pushing this content out from your agent page.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to just talk about insurance. Talk about something that people are going to care about.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about community-related activities. Talk about things that are really passionate. If you really want to venture down that road and talk politics, do it. You're going to get the attention.
Make insurance great again.
Yeah. But,
right.
that's the thing is people think that they're stuck inside the confines of who they are, what they do. But like I said, it's the Wild West. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. You own your own television station. So start putting out content that people are going to find interesting. And then that just leverages you as an expert and keeps you top of mind when they're ready to make that purchasing decision for whatever niche you're in.
Rhen, I got one question for you. So you heard what I said earlier about me hammer cocking a 45 and putting it into people's heads. And guys, if you haven't read the book, The War of Art, and no, I did not say that wrong, The War of Art by, I believe it's Stephen Penfield, talks about the resistance. And I could do 14 podcasts on that probably. But what do you think, Rhen, is the driving factor that keeps people from being a Scott Howell or Bradley Flowers and jumping on Facebook Live and doing Instagram? What's that resistance in them that keeps them from doing that?
Sure. Well, it's basic human psychology. The brain is wired in a way to protect you from harm at all costs. Harm, whether it be embarrassment. So, if you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, people may have problems with the way their voice sounds or the way they look or their accent. So they think that they're going to be judged, by the video or the content that they're putting out.
Right.
It's the same with people who are camera shy with taking photography, or it's the same with people who don't speak in public. It's just you putting yourself out there and outside of your comfort zone. But the fact of the matter is people are going to respect you more for your mess ups, for your flaws. They're going to resonate with you. If you have a stutter, there's 1 million people in America that have a stutter, and they will be your biggest fans.
Right.
So, use your insecurities as leverage. What's wrong with you? Like, I have a crazy Southern country accent, I think, at least. So anyone that's in marketing or in business around here, they can relate to me. They don't think I'm some fast-talking Yankee from New York who just knows all this marketing stuff. I'm relatable. And so your flaws make you relatable. And I think when people understand that, you can kind of get over yourself and get out there. And people, the biggest battle anyone in business faces is obscurity, right? That is our biggest challenge as business owners or, consultants. So by eliminating obscurity, you become relevant.
And to add to that, I think for me, so I was on, and I've told this story on the podcast before, I was on Periscope, which was the platform that started the whole live streaming movement, I guess. Within a week of it launching, I went live driving down the road without my face on there. You know the story.
I do.
And somebody commented and said, "You're such a loser." And I'm like, "Oh my God, turn it off. I'm never doing this again." And it was another year and a half before I ever showed my face on video on Facebook. And I wish so bad that I would have stuck with that, because I could have been the insurance guy on Periscope. So I think part of, and that I didn't know that person, but for me, what it was is figuring out, identifying who it was that I cared about their opinion of me and getting over that. And in this case, it turned out to be somebody who's never, ever, 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 ever going to do business with me.
Right.
And I'm like, why the hell do I care about what they think about me? And once I got over that, it was full steam ahead. I don't care. Some of my best videos are Screwups, and I put them on there just as,
And to that point, I've heard that story now about 3 times, and it still pisses me off. And for whoever did that, I'm actually on Governor Street right now, and I'll meet you in the back parking lot to beat your ass if you'll come down here, because I get so sick and tired of people who want to get on there and say something about what I'm doing or what Bradley's doing or what anybody's doing, and making fun of people or attacking them for doing exactly what Rhen just talked about. They've gotten over the resistance, and they've gotten over their fears, and they've had the bravery to go out there and get after it and put something out there. And that's exactly what you did. That's exactly what you did when you were going over the bridge that day. You got over your fear, you got over your resistance, and bam, somebody comes back on you, and you didn't have the security in yourself when that happened to be able to go, psst, so screw you, dude.
So last night, I had somebody hating on me on one of my posts, and my fiance posted a picture of me responding to it, and I had the biggest grin. I looked like it was Christmas morning, smiling from ear to ear, like a horse eating briars, as we would say here in Alabama. And now I live for those moments. I want that friction, because I know that if I piss somebody off, I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, that would have devastated me.
Right.
I'd have been like, "Oh my God, let me delete this."
Right.
Well, what do you say? Love me or hate me, at least you know me.
Right.
That's right.
I like
That's
that.
right.
And I'll tell you another thing. If you don't have haters, you're not doing things right. People are envious and jealous of people that have success.
Right.
So once they feel you're successful, if they thought you were unsuccessful, they wouldn't hate on you. They'd go find somebody else to hate on that they were jealous or envious of. So
That's right.
The dog that barks the loudest is the one that you hit when you throw the rock at the group of dogs.
Right. Right.
So the one that barks is the one that you struck a chord with.
Right.
So I think wrapping up, to sum Rhen's advice up, is just start.
Right.
Just pick something to do and just start.
Right. No matter what it is, and it doesn't have to be your industry related. It doesn't have to be related to your industry. Just provide valuable content to somebody. Find your tribe, whether it's, high school football fans or the old ladies down at the nursing home who like to knit. But, if you have an audience of 20, 30 people, that's 20 or 30 brand ambassadors and advocates of you. That's
Absolutely.
20 possible referral source, and it'll grow over time.
Absolutely.
It really will. And the last thing I'll add is, this doesn't happen overnight. You got to be in it for the long game. You got to tell all of our clients, you have to find something and commit. Years it takes.
Rhen, before we go, and we're about to wrap this podcast up, guys, thank you so much for listening today. We love you. Rhen, I want to ask if there's insurance agencies out there or business owners out there that have heard this podcast and need some help, with their advertising, with their digital marketing, or just overall need an ad agency to work with. How can they get in touch with you? Tell us about that.
Well, you can always find me on Facebook, Rhen, Rhen Bartlett. We're also bluefishds.com, bluefish, D as in dog, S as in Sally.com. We're all over the Facebook world. We actually do a weekly video series that's become pretty popular. And then we give away free resources, marketing tips, and just day-to-day things that we come across. Clients have questions. We go on video once a week and answer those questions and just give it all away for free. We have a blog on our website where there's hundreds and hundreds of articles that are all marketing and advertising related, and it's a great resource for anyone who is a beginner or an expert. There's tips on there. There's gold.
Yeah. Thank you again so much for being
Absolutely.
here, man. I really do appreciate that. Guys, listen to me. If people don't know you, I promise you they will not do business with you. I promise you. And rewards come from action, not discussion. You need to get your ass out there today and sell something. You need to represent the agency that you're with and write good business and go make some money for you and your family, and go represent the agency that you work with and the companies that you sell business for, and go do it the right way. But rewards come from action, not discussion. Hey, Rhen, appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, Rhen. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Insurance Guys podcast. If you need to know more about me, or you need to get in touch with Scott, you can always reach me at theinsuranceguyonline.com, or email me at iprotectins@gmail.com. And if you need to get in touch with Mr. Bradley Flowers, go to bradleyflowersinsurance.com, or email him at bradley@saralandinsurance.com. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to being with you again real soon on the next episode of The Insurance Guys. Take care.